I think I'm live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you are new here or you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Double check even if you are subscribed. YouTube sometimes unsubscribes people. It happens. When you subscribe to our channel and you hit the thumbs up, it really helps us out in the algorithm and helps me to continue making videos. What else do I want to tell you? I don't think I have any other news. I do want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, floofball mothers, pet moms, single dads, anyone that considers themselves to be celebrated this Sunday. Celebrate yourself. I'm going to say hi to some folks in the chat, and then you're in for a rough ride today, folks. I'm telling you. Let's see here. Char's here. Welcome in. Mary Ann. Dawn. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Terry. Thank you. I well known for my tough love. Not everyone likes it. But you want to know something? I don't really care. So there's that. Lori. Hi, Lori. Hi, Brian. No excuses today. None whatsoever. If your computer's in the shop, use your phone. Hi, Elena. Hi, Jill. Yes, thank God it is Friday. This has been a long week. A very fun, tiring week, but a very fun, let me rephrase that. It's been a very fun and awesome, amazing week. I will talk a little bit about that before we get into the tough love part, but I'm really tired. I'm also old now, so I can be grouchier. I have like my excuse now. Hey, Danny, long time no see. You're right. Welcome in. Karen is here. Dawn. Yes. And for those of you who have been called mothers. Hey, Christy, welcome in. Thank you so much, Lucille. Me and my youngest son just celebrated birthdays this week. And now it's Mother's Day, so it's been a good week. Jen says, I personally need your smackdown. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. So sweet of you. Where are you? I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I wrote that before you showed up. That's okay. That's cool. A lot of people start commenting before I get here. Welcome in. Thank you, dealer, and happy Friday to you too. And happy. Hi. I speak English. All right, so this week, starting last Saturday evening, Bill came out to visit. You all might remember Bill from being on this channel once in a while. And Yaya Rambles, or Cheryl Hinton, however you know her, and my friend Scott from Texas and his daughter, Cortland, all came out to Pittsburgh. And Sunday night, it was just me and Bill. And he stayed here at our house. We had a cookout. We sat out on the deck. We put out birdseed and we watched all the animals and the birds. We saw blue jays, cardinals, sparrows. There were 2 deer, some chipmunks, some squirrels. I may have saw the chipmunks and squirrels after he left. It's a blur. There were a lot of animals. Now there's a bunch of food out there because I think I'm Snow White. The deer were cool. They ran out. We thought they were going to run in front of the car. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, basically at 8 a.m., we left the house. We didn't get home till really late. So it was a long week. Sunday, we spent the entire day going into all of the Goodwills in the entire greater Pittsburgh area. And Monday, we went to Salvation Army. And Tuesday, we went antiquing. And Monday night, we had a local meetup. I guess I should plug that here, huh? If you guys are in the Pittsburgh area or within driving distance of the Pittsburgh area, I have a local meetup that meets once a week, not a week. Let me rephrase that because I'm tired. We meet once a month in person with other sellers from the area to learn from each other, talk about reselling. We are sponsored by eBay, so there should be swag coming down the road. So that's the Facebook group if you want to join us and find out when you can come and meet us in person in real time. So we had that Monday night. That was fun. I sourced so much between Sunday and Monday that my trunk, we had to like put everything in there and then like push it down and like almost sit on it to get it closed. There's so much stuff in there. And I also just ordered 2 more thread up boxes. So I'm pretty set for a while, but we went out to dinners. We went out to lunches. We went to my favorite place, Burgatory, for my birthday Tuesday night. I also got to go to the bookstore. And that is a special treat for me. So it was a really, really good week. And then by Wednesday, I was already exhausted. And that began my actual work week. So Wednesday was my Monday, but I also had to go grocery shopping. Very tired. I didn't get a lot of pictures. I fail so hard at being a social media person. I had planned on getting so many videos and so many photos of the whole experience, especially like the antiquing and the sourcing. I got busy living. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm allegedly this social media influencer and this YouTuber. But I forget that I'm supposed to be a social media person when I'm living my life sometimes. I am so guilty of this every time I go to eBay Open, every time I go to Boss Reseller Remix, every time I go to any events. I get so busy living and wrapped up in the moment, I just absolutely forget to pull out my phone. Again, social media influencer. I would rather live than have my phone out. So we'll catch up on the chat one more time. That's a good attitude to have. I like your attitude. That's awesome. One girl's Ventiques. Thank you so much, Pam. Happy birthday and Mother's Day to you too, or just happy Mother's Day. Lori's taking pictures while she listens. All right. I'm going to preface this with some things. We're going to get into it. First of all, I had a birthday this week and I'm old and I'm crotchety and crouchy. So I'm not going to pull any punches today. I feel like a lot of folks may need this message. Maybe not anybody here today. But if you know anyone who needs to hear anything that you're going to hear today, or if anything resonates within you, please share this video with your friends. I'm going to tell you something my dad told me. If anything you hear today makes you feel defensive or some type of way, my dad never said some type of way, basic idea. If something you hear makes you feel defensive, then you're doing whatever it is. If someone says something in front of you and you immediately want to come to the defense of yourself or fight or argue, you did it, you're wrong. That's why you feel that way. If everything I say, you're just like, boop, then this isn't towards you. But if it makes you feel some type of way, then you need to reevaluate why you feel that way and what you need to fix in your life. So grab a drink, sit down, shut up, buckle up, and get ready for a rough ride. I'm just going to go down this list of stuff that I pretty much just sat down and decided that I wanted to talk about, and I just let my fingers fly on the keyboard, and that's what's going to happen today. So, well, gee, how am I supposed to know that? I'm not psychic. I'm not psychic. Thank you, Jay. Catching up real quick again. That is an awesome quote from Shawshank Redemption, Stephen King book, and a great movie by the guy that did The Green Mile as well, whose name is now brain farting. Hey, Sam. Just an FYI. I'll work on being psychic, I promise. Hey, Donna, welcome in. Oh, no, I'm in trouble. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. If you don't have time for something, that means it's not a priority in your life. I think you need to hear that again. If you say that you don't have time for something, that is not a priority in your life. Because if it is a priority, you will find a way to make time for it. And that means you probably need to get your priorities straight. So you need to figure out what you're wasting time on. And we're going to talk about that later on in the show. If you're finding that you're not having time For things that you enjoy, you're not prioritizing them. And you're probably prioritizing things you don't need to prioritize. We'll get into that more later. The longer you avoid something or procrastinate or put something off, the bigger it's going to get, the bigger it's going to seem, the more of a mountain it's going to seem to climb. You can take the simplest thing. Say you need to pay your electric bill and you go to log into the computer and you screw up typing your password, or you can't remember your password, or for whatever reason you can't log in. You get frustrated, you walk away. And then it's just easier and easier to put that off until you get that pink slip, like, shit, I need to pay my bill. But it works with anything in life. The longer you put something off, the more you put it off, the easier it gets to avoid that problem or that task. But the bigger and bigger it's going to seem. So you're better off doing things now and tackling them as you need to and doing things in the moment. And always do the hard things first. And then you won't avoid them as much. If you really hate taking pictures, and every day when you come into work, to your office or your eBay space or wherever you have set up for work, if every day you come in and you procrastinate doing photos because you hate them, the longer the day goes on, the bigger that's going to seem. You're going to build it up in your head to where, oh, I got to drag all the stuff out and I got to set up the thing and do the stuff with the thing and you're just making it this big thing in your head. And it's also going to get easier and easier and easier as it gets closer to quitting time for you to say, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you can assess yourself honestly and admit to yourself that photos is the one thing you hate to do, and you schedule that in every morning, shipping and then photos, you will get it done. I promise. Because you're not going to be procrastinating it or pushing it off or finding excuses to do it tomorrow. If you do that every morning, first thing, and I'm using photos as an example. If it's listing, if it's sourcing, whatever, the thing you hate the most, schedule it first thing in the morning and do it and get it out of the way. And then the rest of the day is doing things that you enjoy doing and that you don't necessarily want to avoid doing. Honestly, I don't like shipping. We do that first thing in the morning anyway because we have to catch our mail lady. She comes anywhere between 10 and noon. You never really know. So we have to. But, you know, if there's stuff that you find yourself avoiding all the time or you don't like doing, do them first. And then you got the rest of the day to do what you like doing. I love to read too. I have to schedule time for it. I may get a priority. I'm going to talk about that later too. How I have made that a priority in life. Complaining gets you nowhere. Complaining will get you nowhere. Sitting down and assessing why something is happening or going wrong or not working or how can I do this better and creating a plan will get you somewhere. Remember what Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Complaining and bitching in Facebook groups and to your friends constantly about me. My sales are so bad. And you're continually only listing one item a week and building your death pile. You're your own problem. You are your own problem. And maybe you should shut your mouth and stop complaining and do a little more work. I warned you guys. I'm not pulling any punches today. Also, don't compare yourself to other people. If you just started reselling last week, don't expect yourself to have 2,500 listings or 4,000 listings. Don't find bigger resellers than you and wonder why you're not doing as good as they're doing. Because chances are they've been at this for years and have taken the time to build the business. Don't compare yourself to other people. You are not other people. Your situation is not other people's situations. Your wants, needs, desires, and how you want to live your life is not the same as everyone else. So you cannot aspire to be anyone else. What you need to aspire to be is to make enough money to put food on your table, pay your bills, whatever they look like, and live the lifestyle that you want to live, whatever that looks like. I have friends that are resellers that are minimalists. They're perfectly happy in a completely paid off mortgage, 2-bedroom home in the middle of the woods. Their kids are all grown, they have grandkids, and they live a very simple life. I have friends who have elaborate homes or fancy cars or go on lots of vacations, and that's what they work for. But not everyone wants to go on cruises or vacations. Personally, I'm a hermit, and I come out of my hole a couple times a year to go to reseller events. And even then, sometimes for my personality and my anxiety, it's a little much. If I could just stay home all the time, I probably would if I didn't want to socialize also. That it's a catch-22. But my point is, what you want in your life may be different than other people. Some people want to spend their money on materialistic things. Some people want to spend their money on experiences. Some people want to save their money. Some people want to live simply. Some people want to live elaborately. None of these are wrong. None of these are right. It's the individual's needs, wants, and desires that is correct for each person. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need to make 6 figures to be happy. There was a Gary Vee video I saw on Instagram a while back that he knows a lot of people that make 40 something a year, and they're the happiest people he's ever known because they work just enough for that lifestyle they want, and then they have time to do the things like watch shows, play video games, and they're peaceful. And then there are people who make, a lot of money and kill themselves for it, and all they do is work, and they never have time to enjoy their money, and they turn out to be miserable people. And I personally don't compare myself to those kind of people, especially because I'm not here to just work. Nobody ever went on their deathbed, died, and said, geez, I wish I'd worked more. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Yes, exactly. So you have to not complain. You have to find a way to fix your problems. You have to find what you need to do for yourself. You have to find out what you want. And if that means sitting down with a piece of paper and a pen, then sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and write down all your bills every month. Write down which ones you want to get rid of so you can work to pay those off, or follow Dave Ramsey. Write down what you would like to be doing with your life, what you would like to save up for, and what you want. And you can work backwards from there and figure out how much money you need. Manage your time better. I cannot express this one enough because I've been around the reselling world only, believe it or not, since 17. So that's 6 years. 6 years. And I'm already so tired of the complaints, which is why I address that. And I'm so tired of the same people for 6 years are still coming to me for help. But you're still not managing your time. And yes, I said yo, manage your time. Buy a 25-cent calendar from the Dollar Tree, for God's sakes, and write stuff on it. Get a bullet journal. Schedule in your phone. I don't care how you do it. You want to spray paint your cat with what you need to do today? Do it. But manage your time. You are not going to get more sales or increase your business or make anything better by sitting around complaining, looking at TikTok, scrolling through Facebook, going into the Facebook groups to argue with strangers. That is the biggest waste of time. If any of you do it, you need to stop. You need to stop. You will never see me engaging in arguments online because I don't give one flying rat's butt, squirrel's ass about strangers on the internet. Like, Joe Schmo in Texas might be a total jerk. I'm not going to argue with him. He can go off and be a jerk. I don't have time for this guy, Joe, I don't care about, right? I don't care about his opinions. I don't care about arguing with resellers who are rude and have no ability to contribute to the community or do anything positive. I surround myself with people who bring joy to my life, bring positivity to my life, and make me generally want to be around these people because they make me feel good about myself. And I have fun with them and I learn with them. I have reseller friends, and it's not always shop talk. I have friends visit here. I visit friends when I go to the events. I go to Zoom calls, and sometimes we just talk about stuff, but we're having fun, and it's positive. There's no sense in going to the groups to argue with people you don't even know. Like, why do you care? You're never going to change their mind. And this goes for outside of reselling as well. Don't argue politics or beliefs with people you don't know on the internet. It doesn't matter. The only people whose opinions you should care about are your own, first of all, and maybe your partner in life and your parents and your kids, and your close friends. But if you're not a part of my life, I don't really want to argue. Like, people have to be worth your time. Is somebody worth your time? Do they bring anything to the table? If they're not bringing you joy, happiness, you're not learning from them, you're not enjoying their time. Arguing is not enjoying. I don't care if you are a person who thinks if you're a person who actually likes to argue, then you probably shouldn't be watching my channel and you need to go join one of those toxic Facebook groups. But yeah, arguing with people is just a waste of time. I literally cannot stand people like that. And if you're looking for a group that's free of that kind of shit, join my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. We don't tolerate that there. Everyone's really nice, helpful. We all bring something to the table. We learn from each other. We're supportive. It's a fun environment. It doesn't always have to be reselling related. Everything I said. But really, I think the biggest waste of time is that people spend on social media. And a lot of that is getting into these little tiffs and arguments, or just scrolling mindlessly. And we're all guilty. You're just sitting there scrolling. You're not even really paying attention to what you're looking at. You're just going, I just wasted 20 minutes. Stop it. Don't do it. Find a way to spend your time more wisely. All those things you said you didn't have time for, if you weren't on TikTok and Facebook and doing dumb shit you don't need to do, you would have time for other stuff that you do need to do. You know what? Your time is spent more wisely watching a movie that you enjoy than scrolling mindlessly through Facebook. And that is the honest truth. If you're in a Facebook group and you're actually having a really good conversation with other resellers and you're learning something new, or you're teaching others something you know and helping others learn something new, that's constructive. That's a good use of your time, to go in these groups and learn or teach or just have a good conversation. That's a constructive use of your time. But this mindless scrolling is a waste. You're better off actually doing something you enjoy. Go for a walk in the woods. Go watch a movie. I mean, we all need to have time to do things we enjoy, and not everything we enjoy is a waste of time. Having that time carved away to enjoy yourself once in a while is okay. It really is. And we're going to talk more about that at the end. So you need to think about where you're wasting your time, how you can do things more efficiently too. And I talk about that a lot. Doing the batch work, doing all alike items and doing one task. All jeans, all photos, all measurements, all listed. All plush, all photos, all listed. When you do batch work, when you streamline your processes, when you're organized, you will save a lot more time. If you're someone that goes down to your basement every morning and spends 45 minutes looking for the right thing to ship your thing in, maybe you should go down to your basement this weekend and spend an hour to 4 hours or whatever you need to organize yourself. make some shelves, buy some shelves. Shelves are cheap at Walmart. We have shelves we got at Walmart. They're not expensive. But if you find that you're wasting even 10 minutes a morning looking for your items or looking for what you're going to ship in, you're going to be better off spending a few hours organizing that and getting that in a way that from now on you're just grabbing. Our inventory system is set up so that we have a number in the SKU line and we just pull it, seal it, slap a label on, we're done. If it's something that does need a cardboard mailer or a padded flat for Poshmark, it's all organized on the shelf. So do yourself a favor instead of doing yourself a disservice and being disorganized. Spending a couple of hours organizing a shipping station or fixing your inventory management can save you hours and hours and hours. Just think of all the time you're spending looking for stuff that you could just be done with shipping very early in the morning and moving on to the next thing. So how can you streamline your processes? How can you do better? Can you limit your time on social media? If you don't make an effort to change, you don't get to complain. Let me repeat that to you. If you don't make an effort to change your circumstances, you do not get to bitch about them, excluding things that are out of your control. But when they are within your control and you spend 6 years crying that your sales are bad, but for 6 years, you're still telling me or somebody else or whatever, I list one item a day, and you've been told countless times by countless people who meant well and were trying to give you advice to list more, you don't get to complain. If you are one of these people that is constantly complaining about something and you are not making any type of effort to fix it, shut up. You don't get to complain if you're not trying. Now, if you're listing 100 items a day and you're busting your ass and eBay's still broken for you, you have the right to complain. If you are doing everything that you can do possibly within your power to fix a problem and there's still an issue, you can complain. I'm going to catch up on the chat. TikTok is a rabbit hole. Make sure the bells that you hit the bell, True Blue Bless. Sometimes YouTube will undo it. A lot of the people I'm subscribed to, sometimes I notice I'm not subscribed anymore. One, or the bell is unchecked. Hey, Evan, welcome in. It does, but you have to get back up when you're better and get right back to it. And here's the thing. If you have good time management to begin with, and you have good routines to begin with, and you have a good schedule to begin with, it is very easy to get right back into it after you're sick. If you have a really good time management system and you follow it and you have routines and you're on a schedule and you do it, it becomes autopilot. They become these habits that you've created that you do without even thinking about it. You can get up from being sick and you can slide right back into it because it's very natural for you. And it's like being on autopilot. If you're struggling with time management and you're struggling with routines and you're struggling with schedules and you get sick, it is really hard to get yourself back into order. When my friends left Wednesday morning, I had no problem sliding right back into my routine and getting right back to work and being productive. And I have done enough work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. It's like I didn't even take Monday and Tuesday off. And that's because every other time, every other day, I have these very strict routines and to-dos. I wasn't always this way. So it took some time. It took some dedication. It takes 30 days to create a new habit. And you have to consistently force yourself to do it and force yourself to do these things until they become that just ebb and flow of natural routine. That was me trying not to drop an F-bomb and getting demonetized. Preaching. Amen. TikTok, I already said, is a rabbit hole. I took it off my phone for a while. I do post videos there, so I had to put it back. Here's what I do. I put it on, post a video, and take it off until I have some kind of self-control. Yes. Exactly. Batch work is something a lot of people need to work at if you don't have batch work down. And I don't think people understand how important batch work is until they actually get it down to a process. Once you get your batch work down, you can look back at how you used to be. And me too. Like I said, I was never always this perfect or this awesome. But it took time. But I can look back at how I was in 2017 and be like, oh, is that really how I used to work? What a waste of time I was. I need this tough love for exercise. Yeah, you can apply what I'm saying to pretty much anything in life, honestly. Yes, we are going to talk about that, Donna. I think that might be next. Yes, my next bullet point is about being stubborn. So we're going to get into that as soon as I catch up on the comments. But you do need to be willing to work. Some people are remarkably unwilling or unwilling to listen or take advice. Why is my phone going off? Apparently there's some stuff available at American Thrift if anyone needs plushies. Yeah, you can apply this to anything. Anything. I really like the batch method. I'm batch listing music sheets right now as I listen. Exactly. And templates. I can't stress them enough. Why do I get to determine what's worthwhile for someone else or who gets to complain? Because in general, no one should be complaining. You should be working on a problem-solving solution. I never said I get to decide what's worthwhile. In fact, at the very beginning of this live show, I talked for about 5 minutes about how everyone's life is different and what people want in life is different. And I said, that's not wrong or right. Whatever you want in life, whatever your wants, your desires are, whether you want to live in a mansion or a cabin, if you want 10 kids, no kids, and a dog, if you want to live on a boat, whatever your desires and wants in life are, they're right for you. I very clearly said that at the beginning of this video, that no one gets to determine what is worthwhile or right or what kind of lifestyle anyone else lives. That's up to you to determine and to work for. What I am saying is that no one should be complaining. It is not nonsense for me to be on here telling people to pull up your bootstraps, put in the work, stop spending time complaining, stop spending time arguing, stop spending time in the Facebook groups, my sales are slow, and start doing something about it. But I never said I get to determine what's worthwhile for anyone. I very clearly have said that, not only at the beginning of this video, but in thousands of other videos I've done on this channel. So no, it's really not nonsense, but thank you for your input. Fly Lady. Yes. Y'all, I do follow her for my cleaning. I absolutely do follow her system for my cleaning. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Yes. So that's the first thing you should do. If you feel like you're unorganized, now I'm excited. Now I'm off the tough love because this is where I thrive. I have OCD diagnosed and I have anxiety diagnosed. And a lot of what helps me is to find routine situations, things that I can do to organize and make things in my life feel like they're in order. Like all my towels in the closet are a certain way. All the bottles have to be facing a certain way. Poor Keith. But it helps me feel good. It helps my OCD. So one of the first things we discovered years ago about our death piles, we just had death piles. That's what most people have, is just a pile of inventory, right? So what you need to do is sort it. And we figured that out very early on, and we started just sorting. And now we have them in boxes. So when we wash and dry everything that we thrift, if you don't, you're gross. That's my opinion, but it's also a fact. If you don't wash it, it's coming from a thrift, you guys. Like, I have a whole video on that. I will actually pull up and link for you. But we wash and dry everything, and then we sort it. And when it comes out of the dryer, we have boxes. So we have one for jeans, one for men's shirts, one for women's shirts. And when a box gets full, we can either bring it upstairs to work on photographing it, or we can put it in our inventory pile. So we have a section of our garage that is dedicated to these piles, right? These boxes. So we can put all these boxes there, and then we mark them. So when I need inventory, when I know I'm gonna work on jeans today, Keith can bring me a box of jeans or 2 boxes of jeans. And sorry, my throat. We can just work through it that way. But anytime it comes in the house, it goes into the washer and dryer immediately, and then sorts into these boxes. And that way we know everything in this box is jeans, men's shirts, women's shirts, and of course, Plush we keep separate. I'm putting a link here. Save it for later. It's a whole video I did on why you should be washing everything you thrift. You guys, I'm just saying, people are gross. People do gross things. There's bed bugs. There's bodily fluids. Watch that video later when you have time if you haven't. All right, now I lost my place. There we go. I get that text too. Yeah, so you can set up American Thrift and the Goodwill Blue Box both to text you on Fridays when they have new inventory. I personally have never purchased from Goodwill Blue Box. I have experienced the Plush from American Thrift, and I've always been very pleased with what I've gotten. And excuse me, Don has done Blue Box, and he likes what he gets. Hi, Laura. My throat is so dry. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, I can. We're just going to take a break from some Tough Love for a second. American Thrift. American Thrift. Why is this not? It's not even coming up for me. There we go. Got it. It's AmericanThrift.com. I had to scroll down pretty far to find it, to what I recognize. So there you go. There we go. Dawn's on the ball. See, this is why I should stay caught up. Okay, so the way we do it, Gretchen, is a little bit different because there are 2 of us. So I spend 4 hours, 3 days a week doing photos. I take my photos on my phone directly in List Perfectly, and Keith does all of our listing. So when I take the photos in my List Perfectly catalog on my phone, it saves. I should just show you guys, right? It's easier. So List Perfectly is not an app. It is a Google Chrome or a Microsoft Hootie-Coo extension. If somebody knows, please type it in. I always forget what it's called. Edge. Microsoft Edge Google Chrome extension. It is not an app, but you can go to the website on your phone and you can take pictures right into your catalog. And then, so you just go to listperfectly.com on your phone, add listing, and then you push the add photos and you just take a picture and you save. You can set your templates up in List Perfectly, and you can set a default template. So if I know doing my batch work, if I know today is jeans day, I set List Perfectly to my jeans template, and every batch of pictures I take will save in my catalog under my jeans. My jeans, I just said the word. I'm doing too much at once. Template. So this is what it looks like, okay? So all the pictures I take save here in this catalog. These are all the plushies I just took. I take them right on my phone like I just explained. And then when you go on the computer, all these pictures are listings in a Plush template waiting for Keith. And then we have jeans as well. And he will just open each listing. He will remove the backgrounds. Should we remove some backgrounds, you guys? It's pretty magical. You see my foot, the TV, the closet door, and all that good stuff. Dun, da, da, da. This Perfectly's background remover is the best. It removes everything, but you can do it in bulk. So Keith will come in here and do that in bulk. He's got his location. When I talked about our inventory management system, he's got the location for the item to put in the SKU. He's got his weight and he's got his measurements there, and he can just fill out the listing. So that is our process. If you were not familiar, I put in as many photos as I can. I photograph for 4 hours straight, 3 days a week. We have a build up on Keith's list about 40 to 50 items a week across 5 platforms. That is the wrong link. Here I am praising him. Yes. Thank you, Donna, so much. We'll talk over the weekend, I'm sure. 10 listings up. Good for you. That's some speed right there. I'm trying to get through the comments real quick so I can get back to my little outline I had. I forgot I even made Donna mod. I forgot. Oh, Lord. It's been a week. It's been a week. You see this little red bit right here, you guys? If you see my face is red. When my throat starts to get really dry from my allergies, I get flushed. And I think it's from panic. I think I'm going to start like coughing or lose my voice. I don't know what it is. Could just be I'm stroking out because I'm old. Who knows? I've run out of closet space. That's not a bad thing. Just make sure you're working through, as much as you need to. Don't just shop. We're not shoppers. We're resellers. Yeah. Don's been doing really good on Blue Box. I've seen his stuff in the listing parties. It's really great. Yeah, I don't care what you do. I don't care what anybody does. Do whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Okay, so we're caught up. All right. You guys ready? Back to tough love mode. Stop being stubborn. Or stop asking for advice. So if you're someone who likes to go to folks and ask for advice or say, hey, this isn't working, it works for you, what are you doing differently than me? And folks will give you advice and folks will tell you what they're doing differently that's working for them but not for you. And then you just dig your heels in and you're stubborn and you won't try to change. Probably should stop asking for advice. Probably shouldn't even bother going, because you know what? I'm going to tell you from the point of view of someone who does give advice, who gets paid to give advice. Like, people pay me their good money to review their stores. I have a lot of reseller friends who come to me and say, hey, how come your Poshmark does this or your Mercari does this and mine doesn't? All I can do is tell you what we're doing that's different from what you're doing. And maybe you want to try it because it's working for us. But coming from that point of view, when someone, I don't give unsolicited advice, except on this channel, this tough love, because apparently it hurt someone's feelings today. And like I said, if I hurt your feelings today or you feel any type of way or like you need to say something rude in the comments, I've apparently affected you in some way and you need to find out why. You need to find out what it is that I said that bothered you, because that's probably something you need to fix within yourself in your own life. But what I'm getting at is when people come to me and ask me for advice and they want help and I tell them, and then they just kind of either get defensive. A lot of people do. Star, how can I fix? I mean, Mercari is the best example I can come up with, because a lot of folks use Mercari shipping. And I have been saying for years that Mercari shipping is astronomical and it is a turnoff to buyers. It is disgusting and gross. You should be building it into your price, offering free shipping and creating your labels on pirate ship. I shouldn't say you should be. You could try that. Let me reword that to say that correctly. I feel like their shipping is too high. And if you're not getting enough sales on Mercari, maybe something you want to try to build the cost of shipping into your price, offer free shipping on the platform, and then you can use Pirate Ship to make your label. And if you have a cash back card or anything, you can tie that into your Pirate Ship and make a couple extra cents for every label too. And we sell like 2 to 3 things a day on Mercari, and that's a lot for Mercari for us. But out of, let's say, 100 people who've come to me wanting to know why their Mercari is slow or how they can do better on Mercari, out of the 100, I'm throwing a number out there for easy math, out of the 100 people that ask me that, 98 of them immediately get defensive. I don't want to do free shipping. I don't want it. Well, then stop asking me for help. It can be very annoying. If you don't want to take people's advice, if you're going to get defensive, if you're going to be stubborn, then you probably should not be asking for help, because it really can make people feel frustrated. And like, I feel like I'm wasting my breath sometimes. Like, why am I talking if no one is listening? Why am I answering you or giving you advice or taking the time out of my day to help you if you're just going to throw it in my face, get defensive, and want to try to start an argument with me or tell me that I'm wrong? I mean, if you come to me and say you have 0 Mercari sales and I say I sell 2 to 3 a day doing it this way, don't get some type of way with me. I'm not wasting my breath. So don't be stubborn. Why aren't you willing to try something different? Again, Einstein said, that's the definition of insanity. Try something different. When you dig your heels in and you prepare to die on that hill, you're not changing anything. You're staying the same. So be willing to listen to others. Be willing to ask for help when you need it. Be willing to take the advice and be willing to experiment. The worst thing that happens is you experiment. And using Mercari as, I'm sorry, my sleeve is really. Using Mercari as an example again, the worst thing that can happen is you try the free shipping and it doesn't work. And then you go back to your way of doing things if you don't like it. And by the way, it usually takes 30 to 90 days of trying something to get a true blue effort and it's to see if it's really going to work and get the right statistics, like 30 to 90 days. The best thing that happens is you turn the free shipping on and you start making money. So don't just dig your heels in and prepare to die on every hill. Be willing to ask for help. Take advice. Experiment with things. If something isn't working, obviously it's not working. So try something different. Do something different. Be willing to change. But on the other hand, if something is working, then leave it alone. There are a lot of people in the reselling world, a lot of people in this reselling community who will tell you this is the right way. This is my way. It's the only way. And if you're doing it any other way, you're wrong. Listen, if it's working for you, don't listen to anybody else. You could be doing the exact opposite of something that every expert in the field will tell you is the correct way to doing things. If it's working for you, you don't have to listen to other people. You don't have to take unsolicited advice, and you don't have to take anybody's opinions if what you're doing is working. And going back to what I said before, if it's paying your bills and it's giving you food on your table and the ability to live the life that you want to live, absolutely. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I can't say it enough. Like, I can't say my way is the only way and the right way, but yes, ma'am. And yes to that. Because, and this doesn't just apply to reselling, right? I mean, let's just say somebody has a problem with their sprinkler system and there's an obvious way to fix it and you've told them 6 times and they continue to do whatever they're doing and they call you every morning, my sprinklers are going off again. You're going to stop talking to them because you're like, I've told you how to fix it like 12 times and you don't listen, so I'm done. Yes, you would use Pirate Ship. And yeah, you offer your own shipping option, Karen. So it's not free shipping like on eBay. You tell Macari you want to use your own shipping label, and you build the cost into the price. So I have to make that very clear. If you're selling American Eagles on Macari for $10 with their shipping, and you're going to switch to your shipping, you need to make them $20 to give yourself that room. Because free shipping is not really free. That's a whole other video. But yeah, you can use Pirate Ship. Yep, I'm telling you, their shipping is a turnoff. It's like $12 for a pair of jeans. It's like $8 for a 4-ounce remote. Even though I forgot. This Pirate Ship, it has a tracking number, and you enter that into Macari. As long as it shows delivered, you're fine. And that. I build in the price of shipping. So when I comp items, the price is what the price is. So when you comp an item, the total all-in price on eBay is what you need to be pricing the item at. So if folks are selling something for 10 plus 8 ship, you want to sell it for 18 because it's the same thing. So I don't really like have a base price that I then build shipping into. I just look at the total overall prices. If all of the American Eagle button front men's shirts are selling for around $20 all in, plus shipping or free shipping, that's what I cost. So you just have to look at the total price that things are selling for. It does offer media mail shipping. I think you need to use their media mail shipping, and you wouldn't want to do that offsite because you lose their protection. This is what I heard from Jamie Pace. If you guys know the Thai guy, Jamie Pace, he was explaining to me that with the media mail shipping, he has to use Macari's label to get their protection on it because it's so slow. And it goes without, if you go off the platform, it does something. We don't really ship anything media mail, but you can ask the question in my group, Christy and Flippin' Hippos, and you can tag Jamie Pace. He's actually a moderator in the group. He'll answer you. He'll explain it better. First class is that bad. I'm telling you. It's like $6, $7 charge for a remote. That's ridiculous. It should be like $3.50, $4. So I comp everything off of eBay, period. So everything we list gets comped off of eBay prices, and those are the prices we use across the board. So for instance, American Eagle jeans, I know I sell for $20. Most folks on eBay, actually I haven't comped them in years because there's probably turds racing to the bottom. But most people will sell American Eagles for around $10 to $12, and they'll build about $8 in for their padded flat or their padded flat rate envelope. Their flat rate envelope or their padded flat, sorry. So you know that they're about $18, $20. So I always start mine at $20, $25 for men's because you can charge more for men's clothes. You just do. And if it has button flat or anything special, I up it a little bit. But we'll say just a normal American Eagle pair of jeans is $20 on eBay. That's free ship because everyone else is doing $10 to $12 with that built-in 8. So I'm doing $20 free. I'm going to put it on Macari for that same $20 because I know I can still get a $7.60 label for the priority flat rate on Pirate Ship, and it cost me $7.60 on eBay. It's the same cost for us on Pirate Ship as it is on eBay. For some folks, Pirate Ship is a little bit cheaper because your discount on eBay is based on a lot of factors, like your top rated seller. But my labels on Pirate Ship are always going to be the same as eBay, if not lower, but the same price. And that $20 that I'm charging for those jeans on eBay, I'm going to put them for $20 on Poshmark because they're paying shipping anyway. So I'm getting more money. And then I put them for $20 on Kitizen and Grailed, again on both those platforms, doing my own labels on Pirate Ship. So I just comp everything off eBay. And I actually, let's be fair, I don't comp anything anymore. I have a price guide. It's included in my jeans guide if you are interested or have ever bought it. I don't really comp anything anymore. I have a price guide of jeans, I should add. That's just what I start jeans at. Most Plush, I just know. I'll glance at them, but people don't know how to price Plush correctly. Most people price them way too low. And as far as men's shirts, Keith lists all of those, and he has them memorized as well as all the electronics he does. So that's something else that comes with time too, especially if you're doing volume sales or the same like bread and butter sales. If you do a lot of hard goods or one-offs, you're probably never going to get to that point, and that's okay too. You just sell something different, so you're always finding different things, and so you're always going to have to comp. But if you do clothing, eventually you're going to remember what you start American Eagle, what you start Gap, what you start Silver, what you start Miss Me at. You just start to see the same things over and over. So when I said, remember your way isn't the only way, and don't ask for advice if you're going to be defensive. Don't ask for help if you're not going to take it. It is very frustrating for the people that you're asking to keep repeating themselves and feel like they're not being heard. Don't give unsolicited advice either, really. If people want help, they can. If you want to be helpful and make a post and say, look, I think this works for me, that's great too. I think it's all in how you come off. Just don't come off like a bossy butthead, right? I have a lot more to talk about, and we are like at 5:30, so maybe I have to skip some of this. So if you don't have time for something, it is not important to you. At the beginning of the video, I started with saying, if you don't have time for something, it's not a priority. And I'm ending it here too, because if you don't have time, it's not important. Because things that are important to you, you find a way. So if you don't have time to make this business work, it may not be for you. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It takes a certain type of person with drive, self-discipline, initiative to run a business and be their own boss and drive themselves every day. Some people need direction and micromanaging from a boss to function. Neither way is right or wrong. Neither way is wrong. Neither way is correct. Some folks need direction. Some folks don't. That's why some people are bosses and some people are employees. I want to touch very briefly on unrealistic expectations. Don't fool yourselves. You are not going to walk into every thrift store and every yard sale every day and find the Holy Grail. It's just not going to happen. You are not going to find those $1 million special items you see people on YouTube with. Those are like once in a lifetimers, and you're not going to find them all the time. You have to go in with lower expectations or you're always going to be disappointed. You're also going to not make $1 million in a few days. You're just not going to be rich overnight doing reselling. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, determination, finding that sweet spot of the routines and the managing your time. You also cannot expect all of your items to fly off the shelves overnight. That one is very important. So many resellers expect to start reselling and just have everything sell overnight, flying off the shelves. As soon as I list it, it's selling. Here's the reality. Keith and I do research every year on our clothing, jeans, and plush guides. And we fully research the sell-through rates based on the statistics from Terapeak, eBay, and other sites that we use for research. The average piece of clothing takes 3 to 6 months to sell. The average bread and butter brand honestly takes more like 6+ months, but some will sell in 3 to 6. And your plush are going to be even slower than that. 3 to 6 months for plush is like a month for clothes. Plush is its whole own different thing. So, you got to keep realistic. You're not going to sell stuff quickly. You're not going to sell it overnight. It's not going to be fast. Have all of these realistic expectations and know that this job is hard work and it will take time to build your business. But also be nice to yourself, guys. Don't beat yourselves up and, don't be too forgiving. Don't excuse yourself all the time and Don't let yourself fall into lazy habits and bad business practices. You need to find that balance. You need a schedule, and you need to find that balance. A lot of people are shocked to hear how much Keith and I actually work. It's like 7-8 hours a day. We take most weekends off because we work when we work and we play when we play. We have found that balance through trial and error and having good routines and schedules. I also feel like some people are always shocked when they hear me say I spend 4 hours 3 days a week doing pictures. They're like, 4 hours? And I'm like, well, this is my full-time job. So if you work a full-time job, technically you should be working 8 hours a day. And if you worked outside of the home, you would work 8 hours a day. So dedicating half of my day to just pictures and the other half to the other parts of my job isn't that shocking. I don't know why people are always so shocked. Like, this is our full-time job. Maybe I should be taking pictures 8 hours a day. I don't know. But it's like, people are always so shocked. And I'm like, why? It's a full-time job. But that's all it is. It's a full-time job. And then we take time off. We do what we need to do for the lifestyle that we wish to live, which is, again, it's different for everyone. And we work hard when we work. We work really hard and we get a lot done. Sometimes I feel like in an 8-hour day, I get more done than some people in 12 hours. And that's just because people haven't figured out how to manage their time, how to streamline those processes, how to manage their time they're wasting, where to figure out where they're doing that at, stop it. Because we work really, really hard. And then, when we have our evenings and weekends off, we do stuff that's fun. We're not killing ourselves for what we want to have. We're just disciplined. So you too can be disciplined and also enjoy your downtime. You have to find that balance. There is time for hobbies and there's time for business. You can't really work too much or too little. And either way is unhealthy. Working too little, you're not going to have enough money. Working too much is unhealthy, and you need to find time for you. So before I pull this week's winner for the free month of List Perfectly, I do want to give you a challenge for this weekend. But before I do that, my throat's dry. So this weekend, you guys, I want you to think hard, really hard about where you're headed. I want you to think about what you're doing with your life in general and your business. Think about it really hard. I want you to get out paper and pen, get a notepad on your computer where you can type or something, and write down what you're doing now. And write down what you would like to be doing. Goals. And then think about routines, to-dos, schedules. How can you get there? So, this is what I'm doing. This is what I would like to be doing. This is how I can do it. Like, make 3 columns. Figure out a way to make your schedule more streamlined. Figure out where you're wasting time. And I'm going to go into challenge number 2. This challenge is for a full week to maybe 2 weeks from today. Keep track of where you're spending your time. Get a piece of paper again, or you can open up a notepad on your phone. Just keep track of it somewhere. I challenge you from the time you wake up till you go to bed to just write it down. And look and see, did I really spend 45 minutes down the rabbit hole of TikTok? Did I really spend 30 minutes in this Facebook group mindlessly scrolling and not actually engaging and learning anything? You will be surprised at where you spend your time. And when you start to figure that out, when you're writing it down and you can see it on paper, it's almost like Dave Ramsey has you do with the budgeting your money. You don't really think about the dollar here at the gas station and the Starbucks and the snacks and the drive-through. You don't think about all these little expenditures until you write them down and you see how much money you're really spending. It's crazy. When you do this with your time, it's also crazy. You don't realize how much of your time you spend wasting it until you write it down and you actually take a look. And maybe once you realize you might be wasting 4 hours a day on stuff you don't really need to be wasting it on, there's your 2 extra hours to work a day and your 2 hours to watch a movie and relax a day, right? So those are my 2 challenges for you. think hard about what you're doing, what you'd like to be doing, and how you can get there. And then keep track of how you're actually spending your time for at least a week, maybe 2. So I'm going to catch up on the chat, and then we're going to pull a winner. Yes, absolutely. It does increase your visibility in searches. There's a psychology to it. Buyers think they're getting something for free. And I know that there's a lot of eBay sellers that will disagree with me, and that's fine because, again, you got to do what works for you. But I will say if all of the big box stores and all of the huge online stores do free shipping, there's probably something to it. If you don't have time for something, it's not important to you, let it go or find a way to fit it in, right? We bust butt. Yeah, we work hard when we work. You're welcome, Christy. Thank you. Lighting the fires. Just by commenting, Elena, I'm going to pull a winner from the comments in just a second. Thank you, Dave, for coming. I appreciate that. See, now I don't feel like I'm talking to myself today. I don't feel like I'm wasting my air. I'm glad that some people are actually listening to me. You know, I'm the same way, Carrie Berry. When I'm sick, I'm in bed and I'm like dying and I'm like still on my phone trying to do stuff. I'm like, but I can. Crosspost. Thank you so much. I have some older videos on how I used to photograph jeans. They're kind of older though. It was like prior to using List perfectly. I could work on it. It's not very exciting. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate it. And Evan, if you want to wear girls' jeans, wear girls' jeans. I don't care. No one else should. No one else can probably tell, to be honest. I wear a lot of men's clothing because it's comfortable because I'm a chubby girl. Do what you want, Evan. Do what makes you happy. All right, you guys ready? And Debbie B. Congratulations to Debbie B. You are a winner chicken dinner. And I just realized that I didn't share the screen, did I? You guys are like, what is she looking at? It drew the winner, I promise. I am a professional YouTuber who does this for a living, and I know what I'm doing. I wasn't even on the screen. Oh my God, I'm so funny. I also just realized that everybody that won something last Friday during my birthday show, I still haven't. I gotta make myself a note. This is what happens when I take time off and get old and have friends visit. Debbie, I'm totally sidetracked right now because now I need to make myself a note to do prizes. Debbie, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or tag me in my group. No, don't do that because I need your email address and we don't want it public. Send me a private message with your email address over the weekend. And on Monday morning, I will send it to Tiffany and we will get you set up for your free month. So congratulations to our winner, Debbie, for her free month of List Perfectly. Go Pro. Try Pro. Try Pro. And if you're not on List Perfectly yet, you should be, and you can try it for 30% off your first month. So you could try it for like, I don't do math, but we're going to say you could try Pro for like some money. Let me pull out a calculator. For some money, $42. You can try Pro for $42 for your first month, which is like $1.50 a day to try it out. And if you don't like it, you can cancel. There's no contracts or anything. So use code flippinhippos to sign up, 30% off. And thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. That's my appreciate face. Yes, and if you do use List Perfectly, Listing Party comes free with that, and there are listing parties or Zoom calls. They cover everything from morning motivation to true crime to let's just get together and talk late at night. You guys, remember what I challenged you to do. Go do it. Go have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you too. Have a wonderful weekend and have a great Mother's Day to all the moms. Bye, guys.